Hello students. So today we are going to learn about operation with series in Python Pandas. Part 2. In part 1 we study how to create series. Now we'll do operations on series. See how? You have to use the software Jupyter. So the first thing is accessing individual element and slicing. You have to access the individual element and learn how to do slicing on series. So this is our series. Import pandas as PD. Every time when you open the Jupyter, you have to import the pandas. PD is the alias name. So S equals to PD dot series. You will create a list of elements 100, 200, 400, 300, 600. It can't be in the order. It's not necessary. It must be in the order. So you can put it in any order. Then print S. The whole element is going to display. But automatically the indices, the index number, the subscript will also displayed here. So 100 is on which position? 100 is on 0th position. 200 is on first position. 400 is on second position. 300 is on third position. 600 is on fourth position. Clear? So automatically the list indices starts from 0. You can of course convert it, but it automatically starts with 0. Clear? So now how you access this individual element from the series? You can write like this, S of 1. So the first element is 200. We're going to display. See how? Here it is shown. 200 is displayed. Now when I'll do this is 1:3. 1:3 means a range of values are specified. And this is actually known as slicing. Taking out the specific range of values is slicing. So we are taking out 1, 2 and 2 position value only from the series S. Because in slicing, last value is not included. Remember, we'll do in this class 11. So here 1:3 means only first record is going to display and second record is going to display. Means 200 and 400 is going to display with index numbers. See the output? Clear? Now we'll move to the next. If I don't want to read the values in range, then what I'll do? Of course, children, I have to write it like this. See, in the form of nested list. 2, 4. And it is enclosed in the nested list. Means 2 and 4th record is going to display. Second and fourth record is 400. Fourth record is 600 is going to display here. See, 400 and 600 is displayed. So when you have to find the values in the particular range, you can use the slicing. But if you want to display the selective values, you can do this nested list method. Clear? Now we'll come to the next. If I want to apply few operators, mathematical operators like plus, multiply, minus, divide on the series, then I can do like this. With the help of this, we can apply addition on both the values, 2 and 4th position value. See how is it possible? Answer is 402 and 602. Of course, this will be the answer. Because the answer is 400 and 600. When we add 2 in 400, the answer is 402. When we add 2 in 600, the answer is 602. See how multiplication affects? Multiplication also affect in the same way. Multiplication gives me 800 and 1200. Clear? This is how you apply operators on multiple items. You can also apply the operators on single item even. Clear? Accessing values. See how we can also access the values like this. S1 dot B. S1 dot B means S1 must be any series dot B. B is the index. So the answer is 7.0. S1 of B. So this is how we can also access the values by using their index numbers. Clear? Now we'll move to the next operation. This is known as vector operation. Do you know what is vector operation? Children, vector operation means when operation is performed on one object but it is applied to every single element. It's just like that if I scold one of the child in the class and the whole class gets affected. So that is actually the vector operation. So understand it. It is very easy. So if I'll write S double star 2. Did you remember what do you mean by double star? Double star is exponent raised to the power. So the value of S raised to the power 2. So our values in S are on 0, I have 100, 1 place, 400, 200, remember? So when I apply S double asterisk 2 raised to the power 2, the answer will be like this. So I apply double asterisk on series and it applies to every element present in the series. Clear? See the next one. S should be greater than 540. So I have written for the S only, but it implies to every single element present in the series. The answer is false, false, false and true. Boolean value I'll get. Next is filter operation. See how we can apply filter operation. By using these comparison operators, you are just doing the filter operations. You are just taking out the elements which are required by you. So S1 equals to 2.9. So all the elements will check whether the S1, whether the series has 2.9 or not. If yes, then it will display true. Otherwise, it will display false. Clear? So the next point is S1 less than 7.0. So again, S1 is the series. We are going to check whether the 7.0 is present, is whether the values which are present in the series are less than 7.0 or not. If the values are less than 7.0, it will of course display true. Otherwise, it will display false. Clear? So you have to try in Jupyter yourself. Then it will be more clearer. Understood? Next is attributes of series objects. So now again I have shown you one series here. Consider the given series, pd.series, list of values are given here, but this time I have changed the indices A, B, C, D, E, F, E, G. Okay guys. So when I do print S, all the elements are displayed with their specified index number. So whatever index number I had written, that index number is going to display here this time. So the first attribute of series is S.index. Yes, children, you have to remember this. S.index is going to display the index values. It returns the index values present in the series. Clear? Now S dot values of course going to display the data. So whatever array, whatever list you have made in the series is going to display here. So in the series I have displayed 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So it is displayed here. Next attribute is shape. Shape will tell you the dimension of series in the form of tuple. So in the form of tuple, it tells me the dimension of series is 5. Means the values of series are 5 elements present in the series. So the size is going to tell you the number of elements, of course. Next is endim going to tell you the number of dimension. Dimension is only 1D array is this. List is 1D array. In the series we created only single list. So it is a 1D array. So of course the dimension is 1. Next attribute is dtype. Dtype is if you want to display the data type of the series. The data type of the series is int64. Why int64? I have described you earlier also. Int64 means all the values present in the series are in the numeric integer format. Clear? So we'll move to the next. Consider again the given series. I have changed the series. Data equals to A, C, G, B. I mingled the values. Okay. Then S1 equals to pd.series data, comma, index equals to A, comma, C, comma, E, comma, G, comma, B. So indices are also changed. Now what the data will do? Did you remember? I explained you earlier in my earlier video how dictionary is converted into series. All the keys will be taken as the indices, index numbers, and all the values will be taken as the data part. So here series is going to check or compare this A with this A. If A is present here, it's going to display 2. If C is present here, it's going to display 3. E is present here in the dictionary? No. So it's going to display the none value. Understood? G is present here? Yes, it's going to display 5.0. B is here, then it's going to display 7. Clear? And of course the D type is float 64 because nan value is totally ignored. Understood? So our next attribute is s.empty. s1.empty. It's going to return true if the given series is empty. So it will of course return false because the series has some values. Next is has nans. It means it returns true if it has any nan value present in it. So this series S1 has nan value present here in it. That's why it displays true. Clear? Next is s1.n bytes. N bytes will going to return the number of bytes for the data. So it will take 40 bytes. So 40 is displayed here. You are not going to do anything for that. Next is check and display the values. So this is how, children, we first check and then display the values. See, S1 equal to 7.0. First the values will be checked from the S1 whether it is true or false. If the statement is true, then only its actual value is printed with the index number. So S1 contains 7.0. So it will display 7.0 with index value B. Clear? Similarly, S1 values means all the series of S1 should be greater than equal to 2.5. So all the values which are greater than 2.5 will be displayed with C with their indices C, G and B. And this only happen with the help of this list operator and this S1. So first we compare and then we'll display. So these short things you have to remember in this series. Of course, in the whole chapter even. Now I'll move to the next mathematical operations on series. So these are two series present here. S having A, B, C, D, E, G, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 value, and S1 contain 2.0, 3.09 and 5.0, 7.0 values. But their index numbers are also mingled. So when I do addition between them, S plus S1, see what happened? A. So A is checked in both of them. A is also present here. A is also present in this S1 series. So addition of both of them is 5.0. Why 5.0? Because float has higher priority than integer value. So we'll write the answer in float, not in integer. Then we'll look for the B. B is 7.0, but B is not present here. So it means addition will not going to happen. So answer is none. Clear? Then we'll look for the C. C is 3.5 here and here it is 5. Then addition is 8. 8.0 is there. Then we'll look for the D. D is not present in S1. So what S1 will do? S1 will not perform any of the addition. It will only going to display NaN value. Then we look for the E part. E part again contain the NaN value and the 9. But the bad luck is there. With the help of NaN value, we cannot perform any addition here. So the answer is none again. Next, the last one is G. G is present in both with the values. So one is 11 and another one is 5.0. Their addition is 16. 16.0 is there. Now you know how you have to perform mathematical operation on series. So children, you have to remember this. If you want to apply mathematical operation on the series, their index number should be same. They are same series, not different one. If the series are different, addition will not going to happen. Clear? See, arithmetic operation is possible on object of same index. This I told you just now. Otherwise, will result as none. Clear? We'll move to the next, retrieving values using functions. So we can retrieve values by using function also. In the very first slide, you found we can retrieve the value by locating the index number. But there are some functions also. First one is head. It fetch first n values from a pandas object. By default 5 rows. So if I'll write s1.head, it will going to display the first 5 values. So first 5 values are this. But if I'll write any argument in this, I have written 3 here. So it will going to display only first 3 values to me. Head means starting from the first. So whatever argument you will pass in the head, it is going to display those number of values, but starting from the first one. Clear? Now we'll see this tail. Tail means starting from the lower side, means from the bottom. So if I'll write s1.tail, it will display all the 5 values, last 5 values. And by luck, my last 5 values are same as the first 5 values. So don't get upset. Clear? So next one is s1.count. S1.count function will count the number of values present in the series. But children, it will exclude all the nan values. So you must remember, nan values are excluded in this whole scenario. Clear? When I'll do S1 dot drop, it will going to delete the particular value with specific index. So if the index is C, I had written C here. So the index with specific value is going to delete it from the series. Clear? Now children, here comes assignment 2. So you have to do this very carefully and alertly. See, question 1. Read the following statements carefully and answer them. First part. Create a series population. You have to create a series with name population with a given dictionary values. So actually dictionary values are already given. And you know, when dictionary is given, then all the keys behaves like the index number and all the values will become the data part. So you must know how to write the statement. Next one is the B part. Update the series with at least one nan value. So again review the video and know how to update the series with at least one nan value. Clear? So next one is C part. Retrieve single element with index label empty. So you must know how to retrieve the first element, single element with label empty. You can check my first part of the video. B part. Retrieve multiple elements of second and fourth place together. Multiple elements together. You know, I told you, if you want to find the values which have no range, specific range, then how you have to do? Also increment those values by 200. So you have to increment those two values by 200 also. Clear? E part. Check which state has population less than 30,000. So you have to apply filter operations here. Find the number of dimension, shape of series, size and D type. So you have to simply apply all the attributes which I explained you just now. Use appropriate function to find first two record and last three records. G part. With the help of functions only. Next, H part. Count number of items of a given series. So from the given series, you have to count the number of items. Clear? Your function, remember, your function exclude nan values. Don't get upset. Next is I part. Accept state name from the user for deletion and delete that record. So from the above given four states, any state name is given by the user and you have to delete that particular record. Clear? So we'll move ahead with next set of work. Next is binary operations methods on series. Listen children, now we are going to learn about the methods, about the functions. Clear? So consider the given series. I have to consider the given series where I had written ss1 equals to pd.series given values. Again ss2 with the particular values again. but all in the dictionary. Now when I print both the series, it will show me like this. See, their index number are exactly same, because list will get the default index numbers, and in dictionary we supply our index numbers. Clear? Next is some methods which you apply on these series. First one is add series. Add series is going to add the series, and as I explained you earlier, it should have some unique index values. Then only the addition is possible. So it is simply going to add the values, and if the particular indices are not matched with another series, it will going to display the none. So see here, 0, 0, 100 and 10. We're going to add it. The answer is 110. 20 and 350. The answer is 370. 30 and 210. The answer is 240. 40 and 520. The answer is 560. But fourth index number is present here with 400 value. But in above SS1 series, there is no fourth index number. So it will not going to add with any of the thing. So it will going to display me the none. Clear? Now the next part is subtraction. So similarly, the subtraction is going to happen between the series. Again, remember the same thing. If indices is not present in any one of the series, the answer is none. Next, again, multiplication, multiplying the series with the help of MUL function. So these three methods are used for the series. So we going to say these methods as a binary operation. So we'll move ahead, see the next one. pd.series.sum ss1. So children, I have to add all the values present in the ss1. So I have to use this function sum. Sum is going to add all the values present in ss1. So the answer is 100. Clear? Next method is pow method. Pow method is going to display the power, raised to the power. Yes, of course. So it's going to display the raised to the power of 10, that is 100. Similarly, all the values will be written here. Next is pd.series.mean. So children, you all are commerce students. So you know how to find the mean. So here also SS2. SS2 is the name of our series. The values which are present in SS2 is meaned by this mean function. And we can easily get the mean. The answer is 316. You can calculate it and find it. Is it correct or not? Clear? So our next function is sort values. Sort values function, children, is used to sort the series with the help of values, with the help of data part. So SS2 has these set of values. So sort values will going to arrange the values by default in ascending order, but if I want to arrange in descending order, I have to write here ascending equals to false. So when I'll write ascending equals to false, so automatically it arrange the values in descending order. See the descending order values: 520, 400, 350, 210 and 100. Next method is sort index method. It is going to sort the values according to their index numbers. Again, if I want to do it in the descending order, I have to put ascending equal to false. So all the indices are now arranged in descending order. instead of values. Clear? So these are the two parameters. Actually, it has four parameters, but these two are very important. These two parameters are used for this sort value and sort index method. First is in ascending. If you want to do ascending equals to false, then it will display the descending values, and if you write ascending equals to true, then it will display the ascending values. In place means the changes will reflected in place, means at the same position of the memory. But if you'll not write in place, then it means by default it is going to display only. Actual SS1 is remain like that. Clear? So now returns the sum of values, returns exponential values, returns the mean of the values, sort the values in ascending or descending order, sort it by the index instead of its values. Clear? Next is assignment 3, very short assignment of this binary operations only. So, read the question. Read the following statements carefully and answer them. First part, create two integer series d1 with even values and d2 with any of the odd values. Then B part, add both the series and generate a new series named d3. So you have to use the binary operations on it. So use the functions. No need to use any of the operators. C part, add all the values of D3 series. You have to add the values present in the D3. Think which function is going to use. Find the mean of D2. Which function is going to display the mean? Sort the D1 series in ascending order of values. Clear? You have to display D1 series in descending order of values. So attempt all these questions. I'll get you back with the solutions. And children, listen, these all things which are related to pandas, the whole concept of series, if you see, actually it is related to SQL. It is like SQL. So be confident you can able to do this series in pandas. Clear? Thank you. Happy coding.